Okay, so welcome to this deep dive.
Hi there.
Today we're looking at quite an interesting source. It's a script.
A script?
Yeah, a script that's meant to help people talk about their weekend in English. And it tells us it's made for learners at an A2 level.
Ah, okay. A2. So foundational level. We're talking simple words, simple sentences.
Exactly. People who know the basics, but are maybe starting to talk about, things they actually did.
Right. Past events.
So our mission here, it isn't to be A2 learners right now.
No.
But to look closely at how this source tries to help someone at that level, we're just looking at the approach, using only what's in this material.
Got it. So dissecting the method.
Yeah. And the source's main strategy seems to be giving these, simple phrases, ready-to-use ones.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Like building blocks. Does it group them?
It does, yeah.
Oh.
Which seems pretty smart.
Yeah.
For example, for staying home, relaxing, that kind of thing, the source lists phrases like,
Yep.
I had a great weekend. Pretty standard.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed home and relaxed. I didn't do much.
Very common weekend vibes for many people.
Totally. It even has, I slept a lot.
Yes. Definitely relatable.
And I had a quiet weekend. Or even, I spent time with my cat.
Okay. So very relatable, straightforward stuff, easy language.
Right. Then it gives another set for, when you actually did something or went out.
Okay. Like what?
Well, the source has, I went out with friends, I watched a movie, I did some shopping,
Standard activities.
I visited my family, I cooked something new, I read a book, I played video games.
Covering a lot of common ground there.
Yeah, and I listened to music, I worked a little, I went to the beach, I went for a walk, and I cleaned the house. Finally, I went to the park.
Wow, that's quite a list. It really covers a lot of simple, everyday weekend possibilities.
It does. And it adds one more phrase for the feeling. It was fun, but tiring.
Summing it up. So what's the power behind just listing these phrases, according to the source?
Well, this is where it gets interesting for, teaching English. The source isn't just giving words, it's giving structure.
How so?
Think about it. I went, I watched, I slept.
Okay. It's modeling the past simple tense.
Exactly. Which is, fundamental if you want to talk about what you did last weekend, completed actions in the past.
Right. So the source is clever. It's embedding the grammar practice right into these really common, useful phrases.
It takes what could be a tricky conversation for a beginner.
Yeah, talking about the past can be intimidating.
And it simplifies it right down. Here are common verbs, already in the past tense, linked to things people actually do. It basically hands you the tools to answer, how was your weekend?
That makes a lot of sense. So why is this approach important for you, the listener, to understand if you're maybe learning English or thinking about how people learn?
Good question.
Well, it shows a really clear, effective teaching strategy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about your weekend is like basic small talk everywhere.
Absolutely. You get asked that all the time.
And this source breaks that whole interaction down. It gives you the essential grammar, the past simple, but it's wrapped up in these phrases you can just learn and use.
Like a little toolkit.
Exactly. A functional mini toolkit for a specific, very common conversation. It's not just random vocabulary.
So pulling it all together then, what's the big takeaway from this source?
The source basically says, here are simple tools, these phrases focusing on common things and using the past simple, that let A2 learners handle a typical English chat about their weekend.
It really highlights how focusing on frequent topics and giving these ready-made structures can help learners feel more confident.
Yeah, even with simple language, it's about getting them talking.
Okay, so here's something for you to think about, and this comes directly from the source material itself.
Oh.
Yeah, at the end, it suggests this. It asks you, the learner, to pick 3 phrases from that list we talked about.
Right, the list of weekend activities.
And use them to talk about your weekend. Think about what the source wants you to do. Actually use the language. So which 3 would you choose right now to describe your last weekend? Say them out loud, maybe? Or just write them down. It's about making it practical.